Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world and whenever you're either listening to this on podcast or watching. My name's Steve Alexander and welcome to the next episode in a series covering previews for the IMPA London event this year in September. I'm joined alongside me by my colleague, Jasmine Schestak, and Jasmine is the Programme Manager and Head of Sustainability within IMPA. Jasmine, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Welcome to
Hello.
the show.
Thank you.
Jasmine, you've been working quite a bit over the last couple of years on the IMPA education programme, haven't you? Today we're going to be talking about talent management, people development, and we've got coming up a really great interview with Joe McCulloch at V in Glasgow. But before we do that, can you just tell us a little bit about the IMPA education programme? Because this is sort of a year into its existence, isn't it? And
Yes, and probably 3 years since it was just an idea.
yes.
So yes, definitely my role has probably migrated quite a bit in the last year to just focus on the education program alongside all the other things, becoming a bit more of a second story. The IMPA education course is something that was created out of a need. We kept getting messages and we kept getting people telling us at various events that there needs to be an education program in the industry for entrance to the industry, just so they don't have to always learn on the job. They needed a bit of a structured program to help them get a head start.
And it's for new entrants,
It's
isn't
for
it?
new entrants.
It's juniors and new entrants into the industry, sort of an induction, you might say.
Yes, and we've had people who are new to the industry, but we've had professionals with many years of experience as well joining the program, but who were just switching jobs. So they were working in a completely different industry, perhaps even in procurement in a different industry, but they wanted to break into the shipping industry and they wanted to get to grasps with the basics of the shipping industry. So we've had career changers, we've had people who are just fresh off the benches of high school, we've had people who are just interested to learn more. And we've also had people who were more intermediate in their jobs, but they wanted to see whether there's anything new they can learn with this program. So yes, we've had a bit of everything, and because it's an international, it's a global program and it's online.
Yes,
it's 100% available at all times for people to take. I think this was a massive appeal because we've had people from India all the way to Europe, all the way to all sorts of places in the world. So it's a truly global program.
And that's the advantage with this. You can study when you like, when it suits you, after work, during work, lunch break, whatever. You can go into this portal and pick up where you left off with it, can't you?
24/7 access. So you have 12 months of access from the moment you sign up. And you can just go in whenever you have a little bit of time. It's perfect for those who are already in full-time jobs and they're just thinking of perhaps switching careers or, as I said, learning more about these topics. And you can just do it. You can do it on your lunch break. You can do it before you go to work in the morning. You can do it in the evening. Anytime you want, the program is there and you can just pick up where you left.
And it's a modular-based program, isn't it? So we have talked to the industry, talked to people and found the 7 or 8 key topics that we cover in each module, and it's structured in a way that you have a logical flow through these modules to give you this overall introduction.
Yes, the first module, of course, is the introductory one where you learn a little bit about what basically the industry is all about. You learn the things like the anatomy of a ship, all the various people involved in the trade. So you learn a bit about everything in the first module. Then, of course, you learn about the key people driving the industry forward. And this is, of course, one of the modules that everybody has wanted to contribute to, because everyone is so passionate about the people driving the industry forward. And then, of course, we go to things like logistics. We think about supplier management, strategical views around how things are conducted, and also, of course, we talk about technology and things like sustainability as well. And soon we should be talking clearly about AI, which is becoming more and more.
Absolutely. And
prevalent.
when we hear from Jo, she has a perspective on that as well, doesn't she? So you can get all of the information on this program at the IMPA website. I think you're just going to give us just a quick preview of the portal or the education platform that we've designed. You're just going to show us how that works, aren't you?
Yes. Right, so here is a walkthrough of the IMPA course. This is the teachable platform that we use for all students. In this one, you can log in 24/7, anytime, and pick up where you left off. We have 6 modules, starting with Introduction to the Maritime Industry, Key Roles in the Marine Supply Chain, Marine Purchasing and Procurement, Marine Logistics, Marine Supply Chain and Technology, and Sustainability and Procurement. All these are followed by a final assessment. Each module is structured into a lesson that is via video. There are captions within each lesson to make sure that everyone understands and can work through the module at pace. There is a summary breakdown and there is a quiz. We like to finish every single module with a quiz to make sure that you manage to go through the information you've acquired and test your knowledge. At the end of it all, there is a final course assessment. It's 33 questions that you have to go through, and it's a good opportunity to go through everything you've learned so far and make sure that you have learned everything there is to learn. If you want to learn more about the IMPA Foundation course and perhaps consider enrolling yourself or perhaps one of your juniors, please head over to impaeducation.com and learn more on the website, or just get in touch with us.
So that's great, Jasmine. Thank you for that sort of introduction to the IMPA education program. And as I said before, you'll be able to find out more information at IMPA London. I think we might have some students coming as well.
We will 100% have students, as always. One of the benefits of the program is that you're not just getting the program itself, the course, but it comes with all sorts of other benefits. Our idea is not for you to necessarily just learn the theory behind everything, but we want you to experience what a real procurement professional feels as part of the IMPA community. So let's say the IMPA Foundation course package comes not just with the course itself, but we also give you a 1-year student membership, so you can experience being a member of IMPA. We invite you to every single event that we have throughout the year. So you get to come to IMPA London and experience the buzzing exhibition, the conference, sit and listen to all sorts of sessions and innovations, speeches and so on. So it's a really nice program, I think, for an entrant in the industry. And yes, we'll 100% have people at IMPA London.
And that's great because it's continuous professional development, isn't it? Continually learning. One thing I should say is, as well on this, we thank the contributors that put so much into this education program. It's not just been designed by the IMPA team, but there's been quite a few from the industry that have given their time and input into this. And in fact, probably many of those you'll be able to see as well at IMPA London.
Yes, absolutely. We have a very, very long list of people to thank for making this program happen. It's been exciting to see how many have been so eager to get involved as well, because they think the program is something that should exist and should thrive. And of course, many of these companies who had employees help us build the program already have students enrolled on the program itself, juniors enrolled. So we'll definitely see them at IMPA London as well.
Fantastic. Jasmine, thank you very much. Okay, so IMPA London this year, we are talking about talent development. We're looking at education programs. We're talking about how we can be more attractive to people that are looking to come into the industry. We're also looking at how we can discuss developing a leadership role in nurturing and developing people in procurement and maritime supply chain management. One of the people on the programme for this is Joanne McCulloch from V in Glasgow. I mentioned that earlier. And here's what she had to say when we met earlier today to talk about what we're going to be discussing in this session in London in September. So I'm delighted to be joined by Jo McCulloch this morning. Jo, lovely to see you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Lovely to see you. Lovely to be here.
Great, smashing. So we're covering this series around previews for the IMPA London event, and you're going to be joining us. It's on quite an interesting subject around talent management, people development, and growing and nurturing the procurement team. Interesting. I just want to get some insights from you on that. But before I do, Jo, could you just give us a quick introduction for those that might not know you that are watching or listening?
Of course, of course. And I'm actually the perfect example of talent development in marine procurement. So I'm Joanne McCulloch, Jo for short. I'm currently the global head of fleet procurement and logistics for V. I have worked for V and before that for Aquamarit straight from school. So that's 30 something years.
Surely not.
that I've grown and been and have developed through multiple roles, and now in the position that I'm currently in. I'm from Scotland, based in Glasgow, for those who don't recognise the accent. But V have offices worldwide, and we have procurement teams spread in strategic areas. So this particular topic is super important to me from a personal level, but also I do believe it's key important in maintaining marine procurement as a viable option for the future. So I'm really interested and looking forward to the panel in London.
Yes.
But also in how we as an industry move forward with it.
It's really interesting to me. I didn't know. So you came into shipping straight from school.
I did. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep, and it's quite a strange thing, Stephen, because I come from kind of central Scotland, small mining village, where we didn't actually know that shipping was a thing, in as much as the management side of it was a possibility. Most of the people that I went to school with came out of school and went into banking or insurance, or I took a trade. And it was it was just by fate or fortune that I got the opportunity to interview as for an office junior position within Aquamarit. I so came in at the ground level, and then had wonderful opportunities, mentors, and really a passion for it, and that's why I am where I am today.
Do you think shipping has an issue with attracting the next generation of Joes that would be attracted to coming into shipping from school? Because that is a concern that's been discussed, right?
Yeah, I think it's There's the broader conversation around AI, and that is perhaps going to remove that entry level opportunities for people to come in and really start at the ground floor and work their way up, because a lot of the kind of administrative burden is now being scoped to the AI environment. But I do think, where we're in V, we are really lucky to have the graduate programme, and I do hope that that's something that across ship management, ship owner, that there's this opportunity to perhaps come in at a different level, but that procurement sits within that scope, whereas previously it's been more technically driven. We've been looking at kind of architects, we've been looking at engineers, but nowadays our programme is certainly broader and is looking for, for people to come in, because we know that ship management isn't just the technical side of it. There's much more opportunities if we can get people to come in at perhaps at a graduate level, which changes the dynamic slightly, but it also gives that opportunity for growth. So I think we've got we're right to be concerned about what we can do to attract new generations into the industry, but we just have to think slightly differently about how we do it.
Interesting. And I mean, so when we talk about AI, this is also very much on the London agenda. I think there are some concerns, opportunities, challenges perhaps, but also do you see it as an opportunity for graduates and new entrants to perhaps get more involved in the higher level, shall we say, procurement opportunities?
Well, yes. I mean, I think there's two sides to it, Stephen. I believe that we have a duty of care to the people who are already within the industry, who are being challenged to view things in a different way, but also with bringing new talent in. It is, they are coming in to do, perhaps to do much more analysis, much more, it will become a more strategic position rather than an operational administrative position, which is, again, the talent aspect and the development aspect is within that. The people that are already in the industry have to move with the times. We have to understand that systems will change, how we adapt, and how we change our approach is super important, but also that we will be bringing people in who have, perhaps had more opportunity, or actually who take technology and AI as as second nature, whereas we are learning. So
Yes.
the new talent that come in are coming in with an advantage in that this is all that they know, whereas existing talent have to move with the times. So it's finding a way to balance that means that we can still get the job done and we can still move forward without it becoming something that slows us down. It's got to be, we've got to use both of those things in order to continue service delivery, which is the expectation of the companies.
Jo, do you think this is perhaps one of the most interesting and exciting times to be involved with supply chain and procurement then?
I think it is, but I think it can be quite challenging, and I think it can be, there is a fear there because people are concerned as to what does that mean. And across the industry, we are probably there's a pocket of procurement professionals that have came through old school, and who are still picking up the phone, who still believe that, supplier engagement, face-to-face engagement is the backbone of how we get things done. And AI is not going to help us when we've got an emergency situation and we're relying on, those relationships to help us out of the hole. It's an exciting time in as much as we have to adapt and we have to embrace it, but we also have to make it, as leaders within the procurement field, we also have to make it so that people do feel comfortable with it. That the very last thing that we should have people worrying about is that, that tomorrow they won't have a job because of X, Y, and Z. So the leaders within the industry have to make sure that we are, we're talking to each other. And I know, we with the GMPC, the Global Maritime Procurement Council, this is one of the things that we are talking about on a regular basis. It's one of the work streams, is, not just the developing people, but make sure that we're not leaving people behind, and that we are all moving forward, because we can't overnight just go to a fully automated system. We still have to have people who can look at data, analyze data, and then use it to, to move us forward. But we still have to have people who can, speak to suppliers, who can form that the vendor management part, which, AI can't do.
Yes.
We still have to do, we still have to keep those strong relationships going, because that's ultimately what will get us out of hole when things go terribly wrong.
Yeah, that's good to hear, Joe. So, actually building and nurturing relationships in the industry are as important as ever, and will probably continue in that way for the foreseeable future. Coming back to something you were saying, it sounds to me like you're saying that the challenge here is as much for the industry, but leadership. The challenge is for leaders to be able to nurture that talent and make sure that the future and the program for young people is exciting, engaging, but also that they're learning from experience in a hands-on way.
Yeah, and that's genuinely, that's why I am where I am today, Stephen. It's because there has been people ahead of me, above me, who have had that attitude of, we encourage growth, we want people to do well, we want people to move forward. And that's, ultimately that's what drives us. Now, whether it's making a difference in the system, whether it's because, people coming into the industry that can immediately understand AI and the digital world better than we can, it's actually making sure that there's space for them, and that we're not overprotective of the positions that we're in, because, we all have to move forward. And I think that's where the kind of the future of marine procurement sits. It's if we can build educational opportunities, where if people are coming through the procurement academy, and the IMPA are building AI and digital transformation into that program, then, from the graduate process, and also from, having people who are passionate about their own development, that has to be part of that curriculum. It's no longer just about the suppliers who can supply whatever, wherever, whenever. It's more about, well, how do we use that information in a strategic and technical way, rather than it sitting in an operational or an administrative bubble.
So, Jasmine, Joe mentioned there the GMPC. We're going to be doing an episode on the GMPC, the Global Maritime Procurement Council. IMPA is supporting GMPC with communications and with administration. I just thought it might be worth having a look at the GMPC website for anybody watching or listening to this. You can visit this site at thegmpc.org, and you'll see there within the framework of the website there is details about the GMPC and also the work streams, and it's the work stream around talent management and development that we've been talking to Joe about today. Yes. Well, thank you for mentioning the IMPA program. Our challenge for IMPA is as well to keep up to speed with what's happening in procurement in terms of an educational output, and that's something that we're continuously looking at, and perhaps in the future as well, working with the GMPC to develop. So Joe, it sounds like a pretty hot topic for discussion in September. You're going to be in this panel bringing some of these issues forward. Is there anything else that you would say you would add to for this debate in London in September?
Yeah, I mean, I think companies as a whole, ship management, ship owners, there's over the years, procurement, certainly in my experience, procurement is either in the spotlight and super important and everybody wants to be part of the conversation, or it's a secondary to the technical piece, and it's it's a feeder into, but not a function in its own right. And I think that the companies, leaders, and the industry itself, we are making the change now. We are driving that forward, and I think that this, with IMPA and with the GMPC, what we're saying is, and what we have to say loudly is, we are professionals, and what we do is important, and that's, in order for that to continue, and for us to be able to bring new talent in, companies need to have that same approach as we have as individuals. Procurement within ship management, within ship owners, within maritime is a career that's worth investing in.
Yeah. Great to feel and see your enthusiasm for this subject, Joe, and clearly with your path and with your experience, you've got a lot to talk about here. We're very much looking forward to seeing you in September. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we will see you in a few weeks.
Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Thanks, Joe. So there you have it. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you to Jasmine, and a huge thank you to Joe McCulloch at V. You will see her, as well as other members of the GMPC and the IMPA community, in September in London, and we very much look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.